Friskee.tv.
Good afternoon and welcome to the bronze medal game of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships for 2017. We have Friskee versus VLS in all NSW affair. Sorry, Friskee had a 50-50 chance of getting that right, and I got it wrong. So Friskee from VLS, from New South Wales versus VLS, also from New South Wales. We're joined in a minute by Carolyn Tamas from VLS. Both these teams, obviously a challenging nature of this game, the bronze medal game being played. They've been knocked out of their semis. Joined by Carolyn Tamas. Carolyn, you had a tough game in the semi. Obviously got knocked out, but still a medal to play for. How do you approach a game like this?
I don't know. We're just ignoring that the last game happened, really,
Right.
and then we're just gonna.
It was a bit of a blowout, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. So how do you reset? Do you kind of get up and about? Do you go straight up into a warm up? You let people be with themselves for a
We
moment?
actually have like a really good mental strength program. We just get into our zone. We have a happy trigger. It's great.
Excellent. And how are you going to adapt to the wind?
I guess you'll just have to find out.
Right.
watching
Okay.
us,
No state secrets, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So prediction for the game? What's the score?
No, I'm not going to jinx it.
You're not going to jinx
No.
it, but you're backing yourself
thank
in,
you.
huh? All right, cool. Well, look, best of luck for the game. Thank you, and
Thank
we
you.
might check in later on in the morning.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, so VLS pulling from the right-hand side. We're going to have Friskee receiving to the left. We've got a hand up, and it's A. Shep pulling. Alex Shepherd pulls nice and early, lands it. Just inbounds, and once again, we'll have the game advisor doing some work. Actually, no, someone from Friskee is going to chop them out. We'll be joined this game by Tony Castrogano. He'll jump on the cans in a moment and help us call this game. All right, and we're off. And the first throw is a bit of a speculator, but Alex Gann's going to be able to protect it. Gets it to Halden. Nervous start from Nathan Stacey, I think it was. And there's tap back in. Moves to Max Halden. Max over to Eunice Chung. Eunice to Max, and they're really moving it down the opposite sidelines to what they did for the whole first game. So obviously the coaching staff have had a chat to them and said, right, we want to get it high side. That's the side that we want it on. And it gets to Nathan Stacey. Stacey upstairs to Alex Gann. Alex Gann into Michael Henry Thomas. Henry Thomas has Max Halden open. They start to break through the cup. Little travel by Henry Thomas, not picked up. Play on. Nathan Stacey to Max Halden. Max to Alex Gann to Michael Thomas, and they've gone just past halfway, keeping it on the high side, which gives them throwing options. Alex Gann, the four guys just hogging it at the moment. Henry Thomas to Alex Gann, they're outside the end zone, and he's actually in the end zone. And that is the first score of the game to Friskee. So we're joined for the first half by Tony Castrogano. Good afternoon, Tony. Well, good afternoon. Yes, just good afternoon. How are you? Well, we'll wait to get your mic up before we actually get you to respond to that. But how you going, Tony?
I'm good. There we go. Are we on?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
You're
G'day,
there.
yeah, Moz. I'm good, mate. Hello to everyone watching on at home or wherever you might be. Yeah, it's been a tough day for Hello Newman, but we're all done now, so that's great. And I reckon this will be a good one, but geez, the wind's picked up today.
The wind's a formidable factor. But Friskee doing what they needed to do. Tony, you obviously weren't with us last game, but one of the key elements that we saw Meraki do better than Friskee was to play on the high side. The high side, of course, being the side that is closest to us.
Yep.
The wind, for those just tuning in, is a diagonal wind, so you've got a right to left wind, but it's also coming from over the camera, so blowing into that far corner off to the back left. Very challenging, but just watching the replay here, Friskee did the right things, kept it high side, didn't use all their players, I think safe to be said, but they got the score and they're on the board. So Friskee with the first upwinder, they're going to throw down the gauntlet to VLS, and it's going to be Rory to pull. He does. It's a nice one. It's an outside-in roller.
And they'll let that one roll.
So we've got 2 Rorys today. We've got Rory Connell playing for Friskee and Rory Brennan playing for VLS. And we're back in. Rory Brennan moves it along. I think that's Ash O'Sullivan. VLS playing in the dark strip now. Priscilla
That's it.
scenario.
They must get it. They got to get it to this side. They can't keep going back to that side. They got to keep coming up to our camera side here, which is what they're doing now.
So Naro and Brennan. Brennan gets it through. That's O'Sullivan. Sorry, it's not. It's Burns, I think. It is Josh Burns. Now to Rory Brennan. Rory Brennan throws a daisy cutter that actually went to ground. And Rob de Hollander will mark Rory Connell. Rachel Parsons goes wide. I think Rob almost got a finger on it, but there was enough air bounce that Friskee managed to get the first break. They go downwind, get the downwind break.
Yeah, Friskee did a nice job there. Made it very hard to get the frisbee to this side of the field, whereas the previous point VLS forced them this way. So you'd think you'd probably force the other way. Got the short field turn and punched it in pretty easily in the end. Nice break throw from Rory Connell and a nice cut to that side. So 2-zip to Friskee. So, Moz, we've got Meraki and Friskee in the final, correct?
Correct, Meraki and Friskee. Friskee, the non-Friskee World Clubs team.
Yes.
And Meraki played an exceptional game, must be said. They were Friskee and White. They were hard to beat all game. Used all of their team.
Yep.
Had threats on both sides of gender split and also both sides of the disc. Old and young getting it done as well.
So what are your thoughts for the final? Who's your tip? Who you got your money on?
Look, the way Meraki played, I'll put them in front, to be
Yep.
honest. I'll put them slightly ahead of Friskee. That said, we haven't seen Friskee on any of the showcase games, so they got a good chance to make a good impression. But based on what we saw from Meraki, the depth of field, they're just them using all their players. You'd give them the inside track at the moment. From a form perspective, Friskee did get above Meraki, so it's hard to predict. Hard to beat a team twice in the finals. As we see a nice turn.
Another short field turn here.
So
Henry's walking to the disc.
Friskee with a real chance to put a dagger in early, make it 3-zip. Henry with the disc. VLS have adjusted for a
great grab
zone,
from
a
Gann.
1-3-2-1. Gann keeps it. They run the popper in through. That's Seb Hardy.
He's got to get off that line. Does so now. Swinging out to this side again. Swings to Carmen. Carmen looking inboard. This would be another goal. This would be 3-zip, you'd think. Oh, that's a great take. If she's in.
Eunice Chung is...
Looked like she might have been in. She got that
Scorer.
foot down. Game advisor right on the spot, so you'd think you'd have a pretty fair perspective of what happened. And they're going to say no goal. So VLS are going to get another shot at it. They really just need to get the early one on the board, Moz, I think. Settle the nerves a bit and work their way into it. But
Good call, fair call.
They're in a shocking corner at the moment here, so they've got to get out of there.
Both dumps go. Jed on a
Oh,
rock.
God.
In trouble. Here comes the bailout.
And wasn't going to happen.
Friskee
Really
knew it.
good downfield
Yep.
defense from Friskee.
They knew it. They said they sent 2 back. And tap back in by Friskee now. High side. They go high side. That's what they want to continue seeing. Seb Hardy into Michael Henry Thomas. Thomas
Oh.
fakes the flick. Goes to Eunice Chung. Ali Zalams. Flow continues to Beck Carmen. Beck Carmen to Michael Henry.
Almost in.
Nice.
Zalams goal. 3-zip. Friskee off to the dream start. VLS looking a bit down. The 2 claps and a woo go up. And Friskee are up and about.
We got the team sheets here, Tony, if you have any interest. But
That'd be great, yeah, because
have to. They're right here, yeah.
none too familiar with VLS, but that's okay.
Both of these teams, as Tony alludes to, hailing from Sydney.
So who am I looking at here for VLS, Moz, and for the people at home? Who are our main players here?
Look, we watched a couple of VLS games.
Yep.
Emma Lothian was pretty prolific. Tomas Giordana Rock plays, no pun intended, as that rock handler. Coming back, she gets a lot of disc back around it. And Kirsty Murray as well.
Okay.
That's a pretty good defence for the men.
Obviously A-Shep, you'd say.
A-Shep gets busy. Also got Rob de Hollander was good in the last game. And Alex Casella. O'Sullivan does a lot behind the disc as well. So relatively even team. No superstars as such, with probably the exception of Rock and Shepherd. At the moment, a 3-0 lead, and Callum with the pull. While we wait for the pull, Tony, tell me your philosophy on Tim Tams. You can get 8 double coat Tim Tams for the same price as you get 11 single coat ones.
Interesting.
Which camp do you sit in?
Jeez, it's tough. I'm going to have a think about it during the point while you call this over, and I'll get back to you.
You come back to me. Rory Brennan hits Josh Burns.
Oh, no.
And nicely taken by Scenario to protect the O. And pretty hectic D from Kath O'Neill. Puts up a high disc.
Oh.
Pack grabs.
Oh, wow.
Oh. And Josh Burns almost had it. And Ash Wikrem goes for the quick break.
Manescu.
Goes to Manescu, half a bid. But it was coming in with heat.
There's some kind of call.
And
there's a lot of
waving. Yes.
Lots of it.
Foul.
Foul call. So on that
So
initial
foul's back on
undercut.
that first one, yeah?
Yeah, that initial undercut, I think the VLS girl here, number 4, which is Kirsty Murray, is saying
Here we go. Just
a
on
bit of
the replay
contact
there,
in the back there, and that's affected her play on the disc. And then a lot of macking and all that is a bit inconsequential after that one.
We'll take another look. It was very high, we'll say that. I haven't yet looked at the contact, but it was quite high. Nice bid from Manescu there, just a little bit too late. Rubenberg involved for the chat.
So it'll be whether Deborah Lee here, is she going to contest it, or is she going to say, you know what, fair enough, have the disc from there. Ruben's in there going to work, explaining what he saw.
Looks contested.
Looks contested, so it's going to go back to that throw. All seems to be worked out pretty amicably.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
A little bit of contact, but it was quite high.
I don't know if she's going to get up and get that one, but anyway, I think sending it back's a pretty fair result.
Not bad. That's why the rules exist.
That's it. That's why we got them.
Okay.
Oh, geez, they're right in. Pressure's really high from Friskee.
Manescu sat in a
There's
poach
the
in the
bail
lane.
out, and it's going to curve away from the intended receiver. So Friskee again. One saving grace of that is they've got to go full field to score this one.
Yep. So it looks like Rachel Parsons with the disc. Ash Wikrem sitting in the dump position. Ash
Jump
goes up
to
the
Ash.
line,
Nice
gets it.
cut, and he's going to pick that up off the ground. Ash looking downfield, not much on. Looking to swing now. The strong side to Callan, nice throw. Callan's going to come round again.
O'Neill.
Got that into Kath O'Neill. She's looking downfield. Hits Ash on another undercut. Ash getting very busy at this point. Wants the stack to come up a bit. They're quite deep at the moment. Looking to get it.
Pie.
Pied it.
Pie.
And that's going to be a tough throw. Wind's going to push that down. Head to that
pie.
side. Might have been just better off doing what they were doing and resetting to this high side, I would have thought. However, Ash very busy in this point.
You got anything for me on the Tim Tams?
Yeah, look, I think it's double coat. I think I'm a big quality over quantity sort of guy.
Brennan brings it in, goes to Rock. Giordano Rock. Oh, sorry, it's not. It's
That'd be
Scenario.
Priscilla.
Yep. Moves it out. Lovely break.
That's it. Get it to this side. That's much better. Great crab too.
That's Lee. No, sorry,
Lee.
Ting.
Dumps back to Scenario. Oh, that's a pike. That's going to sit up there. Callan going to eat that up. Oh, I don't know. Going to say maybe you got it in your space. But however, from where our vantage point, Andrew, I think Callan had that one quite convincingly. Although I think number 12, Marty Forrest, also known as Linus, is saying, look, mate, I couldn't even get up there for that one. I'm going to have a look on the replay here. Yeah, Callan's definitely gone up. But I think he's done pretty well to avoid hitting him or anything like that. So we'll let him talk it out. Beck Carmen has a quick glance over here.
Linus has said probably nothing in it.
And now we're going to
acknowledge that Callan got to the space first.
Good
so
retract,
Tony,
ask the question.
Call up the Friskee offense if you will.
All right, so Ash, she's in the corner of doom. Oh, geez, that was humming. That's hit Kath O'Neill right in the head. I think that took a bobble. She's going to call an injury. I think that's hit her square in the mush.
It has. Going to make for an awkward chat back home. I believe those two are partnered and live together.
Ah, right. Yeah, look.
That would have hurt.
Someone could be taking someone to dinner, I would have thought, at some stage during the week.
At least.
I think hopefully she's going to be okay. No serious damage done. And disc tapped back in. Yeah, just takes a late bobble.
Yep.
He tacked it hard too. Now, they've got to get, I know I don't want to harp on the same point over and over, Bruce McAvaney style, but they've got to get off this sideline. They've got to get it over here.
Brennan does
They do so.
Dying.
Tough throw. And there's that short field turn we spoke about. Friskee will set up pretty well, you would have thought, although Nathan Stacey didn't really wait for the setup. He's just picked it up. Now he's in a bit of strife. Gets it off.
It's Lachlan Murphy.
Murphy looking end zone.
It's wide line.
Oh, just too much float for Callan.
Got over both Linus and Callan there. So VLS will bring it back. They'll have another shot, but they're finding it increasingly difficult to try and get any kind of flow. To Tony's point, they are trying to do the right thing, but it's a difficult throw to come out here, certainly to do it in one. So they might have to look at hitting back on the dump. They do have Scenario in there at that dump. She charges up into the cup now.
Up the line. Friskee did this really well in the game early against us. They set up a bit
go
of
again,
a
go again.
Get it. Good. Now they're on this side. This is the strong side. Boost it from there. Oh.
Back in. Well done. Scenario keeping some flow.
Hit him. Oh, geez, not much spin. Not many rotations. This is where you got to pump it. Bang, Linus. Oh, Callan did not want to let him pump it. He's
now Linus goes.
Now that's it. That's the shot.
Well done from Rachel Parsons. Read it well.
No, good defensive play, but I reckon that's the play for them, although there might be a call here.
I think we just got to play it down. And no call. It will be a turn. As Friskee tap it in. Tony.
We've got Ash here. Looking to get that dump off. Just a bit too high for Manescu. Now VLS a chance to punch it in from a short field.
Probably the best chance you would have thought for VLS here. That they've got certainly the upwind chance. So we've got Linus. Sorry, Josh Burns. Burns with the disc, sits in backhand. Now wants the hammer, but there's a call. There's a chat going on backfield. This one's between Linus and Callan. And they're bringing everyone back. So I think this was something quite early on. I want to bring the stack back together. What we will try and get is a count out of Ash. Hopefully understand what it's on because it had been tapped in. He's got 2 fingers up. That's a count of 2. Wants break. Gets break. Oh, Scenario gets a good one. Manescu went straight into her back. Probably didn't have a bid. But we're waving something away. We're waving a goal. There's a lot of waving. I think they were calling a force out. I think it was close enough to the line that it may have been a force out foul. Have to take another look whether Mineski had a bid there. I'm not entirely sure she did. All I saw was Scenario get a couple little clobbering, but the important thing is that VLS are on the board, Tony.
Yes, and I think that's what they needed. Obvious statement there, but obviously need to get on the board, settle the nerves a bit, and now they just need to work a bit tactically. I think Moz, defensively, they're sort of forcing sideline with their zone, VLS, which means the Friskee can move the disc under this strong side a bit better, whereas Friskee being a little bit smarter and just locking it in one way. So I'd like to see VLS coming down and locking it in the far side and just making it real tough for them.
Spot on. Well said.
So VLS are gone with 4 men. Obviously that's the gender end up there. Bit of discussion between the players about signalling. Going back to your Tim Tam point, Andrew. Yeah, I'm going to go with double coat, I think. What about yourself?
Just watching a save here from Josh Burns off a couple of bobbles. I'm a double coat man.
Yeah.
I'm a double coat man. If you do the maths, it's double coat, so it's double the coating, right? So you get 16 chocolate toppings worth of Tim Tams as opposed to the 11.
Yep. And you're saying same price at any...
If it's the same price, I mean, that's what just blows you away. It's like, well,
yep.
why wouldn't you? So, and I went a little far earlier. I was concerned about the kind of mental capacity of anyone that would take the single coat over the double coat. It didn't make sense to me.
No, I think that's a fair concern. Pull goes up from A. Shep. That is vicious.
Is that out?
It's gonna... I don't know if it landed in or not.
The hand went up.
Very close. They did have the hands up and then they were a bit unsure. Vicious pull though.
VLS giving Friskee a big break if it is in fact a brick.
That's right.
But the way they're lining up, they're either looking for the brick or they're lining up at the brick. So let's have a look. It's coming in.
Yeah,
out. That's out. They'll be bringing it in from the brick. That's a big break that they've given to Friskee at a time when they definitely didn't want to. They've just had their first goal. It was an upwinder. And they're going to allow Friskee field position. One they definitely take.
And this is what I like now. We're seeing, I hope, a locked-in force here with Henry walking up to the brick mark. So Henry just swings it over to Rory, gets it through to Max Helden. Oh, nice take there as well. Going to dump it back to Rory. They're going up that weak side at the moment. Need to lock him in here, VLS. Rory wants the poppers to come to him. Gets Max Helden popping as always. Gives it straight back to Rory. Rory looking to swing. He's going to get that off backwards to Henry. And Henry's going to swing the strong side to Gann. Gann now didn't really want to go back to the weak side, but does to Henry, who swings on to Rory. Rory getting it back from Eunice. Oh, nice break there. Just inside to Henry. Gann now looking upfield. Gets it in the car. Is that Carmen?
Yep.
Carmen. Carmen getting a bit of contact on the mark there. Nice. Gets it through the cup. Eunice looking for goals. Gets it to Rory. There it is. Zalams. Goal. Did that well. Very nice.
Yep. Too easy there. VLS Cup not aggressive enough. There were holes through it. Friskee on a couple of occasions put it between them. But at the same time, they're still not pressuring enough back. So there were 2 or 3 dump swings, and Friskee learning the lessons probably a bit too late from their semi. That high side is where they want to have it, and there were a couple of occasions there where the fence was too far forward, so the marker had to either try and stop the dump or the swing, and there were occasions on both sides at that point where they said one they'll take the dump, and the other then they just went straight to the swing. So that's making life hard around the disc. Fence needs to be a little bit more accountable. So 4-1.
4-1.
Friskee, some smiles. Not as many smiles from VLS, certainly at this point in time.
It's a long game of Frisbee, Andrew.
Frisbee is a long game. We're at the 23rd minute mark. The final, for those curious about the gold medal match, will be at 3 p.m. We are joined by one of those players in Mark the Shark, Mark Evans. Do you want to jump on the cans very briefly and have a quick chat?
That wasn't why I came over here. But all right.
Mark's saying that wasn't why he came over. He came over and he dagged around. How are you, Mark?
Good, mate. Good. How
That's
you doing?
good. Just keep the water off the laptop, please.
Yes.
Here to support your other team.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Mozza, what do you reckon going upwind, zone versus man defense?
For this team specifically?
Yeah, for this match here, do you think that the teams are making the right choice in setting zone?
I think zone's the right choice. It's the shape of the zone and which numbers they're playing, I think, is what's in question.
Sure.
Certainly based on what we saw out of Friskee the first game. They didn't play against Meraki in the semi. Didn't play it well at all, but they're playing it a lot better. What do you think as we watch VLS try and progress it up?
It depends on your strengths, I guess. But yeah, it looks like these teams are pretty comfortable in a zone for the most part. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, we're not on the field. Just wanted to raise the topic, see what you thought.
Look, the challenge is that this wind has been either non-existent or blown a gale.
Yeah.
And you get it in 2 points. It's not a consistent wind in direction nor speed as we watch Vo go out wide. And
lovely. Oh,
Too
not
much.
quite. That's a tough throw down that sideline.
Well, and that's exactly what we saw in the semi, right? Was that Friskee sat over in that corner, and I said it a couple of times, it was resembling a dead racetrack because there were just that many boot marks. That was the only thing they were playing down, whereas Rigaki, Sakre, Junker all wanted to bring it top side and then shoot from the high side. And that was what opened up 3 or 4 breaks. So without selling any state secrets, what's the plan for you guys coming into your final?
Look, it's going to be scrappy, right? Like the wind's up. Like if it wasn't obvious at home, that's a lovely pass from Gio there. We'll take a small break from tactics just to talk this point.
Call it up, Mark. You know these guys.
Lovely, Gio. Over to Ash O'Sullivan. These are lovely upwind puts from Gio. Just not quite on the read there. Seb Hardy. Callan picking up the disc. Wants a quick break.
Seb.
Nice, a round throw from Callan. Easy one from Seb Hardy.
Very nice. Any final pearls of wisdom for your team? You were saying about the game plan?
Just like, I don't know, the wind's pretty up, and, you just got to be comfortable with a scrappy game. Like, it's tough out there, but if you can accept it, move on, and thrive in these conditions, then
it's a funny word you
gonna see
mentioned, Mark,
success.
thrive. I'd imagine these are exactly the kind of conditions you thrive in because you've got perfect excuses to throw garbage.
Love a turnover.
Yeah,
Love
fond
that.
of one.
Yeah.
Well, look, mate, all the best. I'm very glad that we don't have a Friskee Funsky final.
Yeah.
I think everyone is. So all the best. Enjoy watching what you're going to pull out of the throwing bag in the final.
Yeah, well, look, yeah, sure.
You'll hear about it.
It'll
Don't
be
worry about
fun.
that. I hope you catch a replay.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Evans there, former dingo. Well, you're not a dingo right now, are you? There's no campaign.
No one is a dingo.
No one's a dingo. Potential dingo.
We're both potential dingoes.
Mate, I'm a potential dingo. Fausto, potential dingo.
Tron. No.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
He's just over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Krishy Toffer boy, very nice boy. He's probably a potential Monday. He loves playing mixed.
He's almost a perpetual Monday, you'd say.
Yes. But anyway, 5-1 to Friskee. Rory's going to pull this one. Hands are up. And here comes the rip. Not a bad one. He's probably going to get about to the brick mark, but it's going to... Oh, he stopped the roll there. Done really well.
Yep, moved in. VLS, Emma Lothian with the disc now. Goes out wide, elects not to. Friskee get a chance to set their D. Now to A. Shep. A. Shep shoots one long. Rory sits under it. Rory plucks it. Nice work, Eunice Chung. Back into Alex Gann. There's going to be scraps. Scraps on offer. It's taken. And Shep's off. Sees Rory deep and goes, oh, actually, maybe not. Wants nothing to do with that, and I don't blame him. Emma coming in. Shep with the easy under now, being given his unders. Wants to come out, can't come out. Nice grab, keeps it alive and moves it across. Challenging throw. Ends up being taken. I think that's Matthew Walsher. Actually, no, that's Alex Casella, just in a different number. Emma Lothian unloads a big backhand. Ambitious at best. I'm not sure she'd be thrilled with that. Tony?
Didn't have the cutter there to throw it. I don't mind the throw, though, to the high side. That's, I think, where you want to launch your bombs to, because they're going to sit a little bit more, but just probably didn't have the cutter going there with any real conviction for that one to come off. So Friskee. But again, Andrew, at least it's not the short field turnover we've seen a fair bit of. So Friskee going to have to go full field to put this one in. Nathan Stacey's going to walk it up. Rory in the dump position, as is Gann. And they're going a bit of horror here. Murphy with a nice cut. Stacey looks him off to swing to Rory. Not a bad option. Rory, the wind-up, doesn't go it though. Swings it out to Gann. Gann now launches the bomb. Here it is. Eunice can track it down. Nice take, not quite in. Going to swing it across to Stacey for the easiest of goals. Woo! 2 claps and a woo, Andrew Moroney.
5-1.
Are we 5-1 now?
I think we're 5-1 now.
Okay. There it is, the 2 claps and a woo. As is customary at
6-1, sorry. Yep.
Yep, as is customary at Australian Mixed Champs.
Yep. VLS finding it tough going. They don't really have answers for what Friskee are throwing at them at the moment. This put, talk us through this put, Tony. Lovely.
Yeah, look, they had to go the full field, but they swung it across to the weak side, and Gann, weak side, backhand, got Eunice almost in the end zone, and just Nathan Stacey he just jogged down with the play and then caught the goal. One of your favourite moves. That's right. But look, great shot from Gann on that weak side of the field. He's got a ripper backhand. Lots of talent, young Alex Gann.
Look, it's not what we're advocating for. We want to keep it away from that side, as we've said. But
that's right. But
if he gets a jacket like that,
yep.
I suppose you can tell us to shut up.
That's it. You can say, that's why I'm playing the bronze medal and you're talking about it.
Doing nothing. Exactly. Right, so 6-1, Friskee in control, VLS with the challenge in front of them to get an upwind.
Yeah, VLS very loud at the start of the game, plenty of noise, and they've just dropped off. So they've got to find something within themselves to manufacture it a bit, I think. If they want to come back, they've got to get up and about on the sideline. So here comes the pull anyway. Callan's going to give it a rip.
Not a bad pull. And O'Sullivan moves it through to Scenario. Scenario progressing up to Tamas, but it had a bit of heat. She popped over her head. And Friskee with an opportunity to pop a dagger in. Esh with the disc. Callan is his dump. Esh goes inside our flick with pace. And it's Seb Hardy, and that takes us to 7-1 now. And Friskee going to look to punch this in for half. I don't know if we're going to see a timeout. They're walking back. Are we going to see one? No, just a gender call of 4 women.
4 women.
Do you happen to know where the closest KFC is, Tony?
No, Andrew. I would have thought you would have known, if anyone had known.
Desperate to find out.
Yeah, desperate for a wicked wing, you'd be.
2-piece fillet box, upsize gravy instead of potato and gravy, and maybe a little bit of maybe a wicked wing snack box. If anyone is in the region of Hobart and feels like bringing us a feed, I'll pay overs. I'll pay well overs.
What are your thoughts on the crushers? You ever get a crusher from KFC?
No, not really. Not really. I think you've either got to be a milk-based drink and an ice-based drink, but when you're both, it's kind of like, well,
yeah,
it's a bit weird.
You just got to, yeah.
Are you on the crushers?
Nah, look, I don't think I've ever had one. They don't really appeal to me, but I just thought I'd ask the expert.
No.
But obviously no good, so...
No, there's a lot to like here at KFC, but that's not one of those things.
Yeah, I don't think that's what really springs to mind when you think KFC anyway.
No. So VLS might be hitting the kernel early themselves unless they start bringing a little bit of pressure. The good news is they do have a downwind now, so they're a good chance to get it to 7-2 before Friskee come out to try and put the half away. Friskee, of course, would love another upwinder, and they've done VLS a nice favour because it looks like a brick. So Friskee VLS able to take it from the brick mark. You'd expect them to. They do. Giordano Rock coming out. It looks like a junk look. No, they are going towards matched offense. Maybe some poachers.
Yeah.
No, there's a junk. This is a junk. You can see Eunice taking anything that comes under. Gets it to Caroline Tamas. Then now back to Giordano Rock, who goes and shoots a flick. A-Shep's got a work to do. He's a quick lad, but he's not that quick. And I've seen some fried chicken at the field. Whose is that? That's Mark Junker playing the final later on. He probably won't need to eat it all, I don't reckon, Tony.
You might have to just take a couple bits off him, a couple strips.
I'd probably take it off anyone but Mark Junker. I don't know if people know Mark Junker in the Frisbee community, but he needs every feed that he can get. He's about 48 kilos dripping wet. And that's rich coming from me, and I don't care. All right, Tony.
Yep, we've got Friskee here. Rory can run up to line. Max Helden doing a lot of just not much, but he's going to get the disc in the end. It's going to sit for him. This is to take half here, so Maxi's now on the strong side, which is where they're forcing, which seems odd to me, but there's the drop from Vo. VLS short field pickup. Linus boosts it in. Too much pepper for A-Shep though, and he can't come up with it. And Friskee's going to have their second chance to take half right here.
Martin and Linus having a dance-off. Linus and Max having a dance-off.
Yeah, interesting cutting patterns. Haven't seen them before. Did work, did get the disc.
It looked like an electric boogaloo more than it did a cut. We'll see if we can get that up later, but yeah, ultimately Max can tell us to get stuffed. He got the disc. All right, Friskee again going upwind.
Oh, Rory fakes the big boost.
Then goes with the backhand. Over on the far sideline, Rory gets it back and he's going to look high side. He's going to hit Zalums. Zalums nice. Outstretched grab needed to work for that one, did. And then to Max Helden. Max pumps it to Rory. A little bit of switching going on from the VLS lads. It enables Vo to get free. Vo now, not really with a count on him. Gets one. The low backhand to Max. Well thrown. Rachel Parsons, a little bit deep in her cut, so she's gone. She's out of there. Vo now has a dump in Eunice Chung, wants to go over the break side. Eunice comes onto the open side. Instead, Vo, and I think that one was down.
So VLS will pick up here. Sort of halfway in the field. Linus going to pick up. Looking end zone pretty much straight away. Friskee playing that sort of poachy zone, and it's going to come off for a turn yet again. They did that quite well against us in the quarter this morning, Andrew, and we couldn't work it out, and VLS also struggling. It seems that the boys are basically playing man, and the girls are doing a little bit of a triangle, but they're also...
So let's have a look at this dancing. Sorry, Tony, just very quickly.
Yep.
Linus and Max, bottom of screen. We'll catch it once we get another break. In the meantime, Eunice, where's a little bump from Gio? Very active mark from Gio, but
nice.
Eunice, lovely throw to Rachel Parsons, who then sends it downtown. Rory sits under it. Rory catching on the end zone line, and then that's a goal caught by Georgia Ewan, sorry. So that's half 8-1. So we'll have a chat. We'll have a look at a couple of the highlights. We're going to start ideally with Max and Linus having a dance off, Guardians of the Galaxy style. Looking down the bottom here, Max in the white. Going to start. He's going up, he's going back, he's going up, he's going back, and then Linus starts to get in on it. Starts doing little jab steps, and eventually goes and gets it. Linus obviously not wanting him to get deep. Lovely little bit of synchronised swing. So Tony, observations for the first half. Obviously Friskee found it very hard going as we watch the last goal of the half.
Nice shot there from Parsons to Rory, and yeah, Rory streaking deep is always a good option to take. Not quite in, and then he just pops the easy goal in. Observations from the half in general, just Friskee the much smarter team at this point, handling the conditions. They're able to get the disc to our side of the field and run their offense from there. Whereas they're also playing some really nice defense and forcing VLS over to that weak side. And VLS, don't take anything away from them. They're working hard, they're trying. I just don't think they have the throwers to get off that sideline with any sort of consistency at this point in time.
Yeah, and that's been the difference. It's not so much around the mindset, it's around the execution. I mean, we've seen VLS continually try to move it up here, but the throws have turned over in the wind, so they've either died on the receivers or the receivers are trying to take a disc it sideways. So, not sure what more they could do. Well, one thing they could do is actually put a thrower in between or a player in between there. So rather than trying to hit a 25-metre cross field, put someone 10 metres there, pop them a little bit back so there's no defensive pressure. You know, kind of in that quasi-dump position, and and then look to have a second throw come across. But as you said earlier, mate, easy for us to just sit here and talk garbage.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But look, that's, as you said, that's what they got to do. They got to just keep doing that, keep trying. Hopefully the execution comes off. I'd like to see them put a bit of more pressure on defensively. If they're going to go with the zone, they've got to have a bigger mark and that cup's got to be way more active than it has been. Got to have the head on a swivel sort of stuff, and be having a bit more of a look. But I actually didn't mind their man, so I think for me, Andrew, if I was VLS, I'd probably stick with the man. Keep going with your switches if you want.
Yeah, fair enough.
The zone. Friskee's a very good zone offense team, to be fair. It just hasn't really generated any turns for him.
So outside of the prolific or occasionally prolific wind, it's actually a very nice day for Frisbee. The sun is out and shining. A little bit of cloud coverage.
It's actually been a lovely 3 days from Hobart. Really turned it on for us.
Yeah, it's good.
Getting out of the rain of Melbourne at the moment.
It's good. And whilst we watch the teams in their huddles, let's talk through the final. We've got Meraki versus Friskee.
Yep. I haven't seen Meraki yet. We didn't see him at all this tournament.
Oh, you haven't played them?
No, I didn't get to play them. But obviously very talented. I know the boys are a mix of Chile and Hoss, which doesn't always happen.
Unusual, yes.
Yeah, a little bit unusual, but that's good. Ultimate Victoria, bonds and all that rest of it. So obviously you got Rigaki. I would imagine, Miles, you've seen a few games. I'd imagine he's taken control.
You notice him. No, but to be fair to Meraki, they are using, I was saying this earlier, they are using their whole team.
Yep.
Got some really experienced veterans like Kath Matthews, Kerry Justice, but also some newer players, newer faces to the scene. Laura, Mikey Trong, Tom Della, James Osborne as well. So really nice balance across the age brackets and the experience spectrum. So they've been using them. Yeah, Tom gets involved and pumps himself up at the credit, taking credit at the expense of others. But every now and again deserves it, but probably not as often as he claims it.
And then I suppose we've got Friskee on the other side of the coin.
So you played them?
Yeah, we did play them. It is very similar conditions actually to what it is now on day one. High turnover game, plenty of pie. Their pie was just a little bit tastier, I guess, in the end. Mark the Shark was, and you could imagine Greff were loving the conditions. Yep. So they were having to shoot off.
And did they, on the defensive side, were they throwing a lot of junks or?
Yeah, look, they had that switchy, I guess similar to what Friskee's playing, obviously the same club. So that switchy man. The girls tend to, it's a bit of a triangle, but it is a little bit different as well. Right. So the boys tend to be pretty honest. But yeah, look, and obviously, they got Rob Andrews is a serious threat deep, offensively or defensively, so that really took away our long game. And Lado going to work actually as well. He's cutting very hard on that side of things.
Excellent. All right, well, we are just about ready for the second half to get underway. We're just resetting the disc. It will be Friskee receiving downwind, so that's a dream for Friskee. Not sure, is that right? We're gonna have a look. I don't think that's right. Ruben has his hands out. I don't know if that's a hand signal or he just genuinely doesn't know what's going on. No, it is. Okay, so it'll be VLS receiving. I was going to say, Friskee, it's about the dream for them. It'll be Friskee pulling from the right of screen. Just a reminder, the final will be played at 3 o'clock. And a special shout out to those tuning in from Queensland. Miles McCullum up there enjoying the coverage. Miles, feel free to give us your thoughts on Tim Tams. You're very dear to me, so if you went down the single coding path, you'd be a great disappointment. For the Queenslanders wanting to tune in and understand what's going on in the placing games, F Troop and Monstars are 3 apiece. That placing game is taking place behind us as we see VLS march it up to bring it in. Burns goes upstairs, sells absolute candy to Hardy. We'll cue that one up again for Seb and get him on the side. Stacey, sorry. We'll cue that up and let Nathan see the candy. Goes to, unfortunate for scenario, bobbled out of her hands. Lachlan Murphy to Rory. Rory takes a nice big long step, but he's a big boy. Looks for Lachlan Murphy, but he was covered. Eventually he gets free, shakes free. They hit it. 9-1, Tony Size gone.
It's just a touch too easy, and I don't want to get stuck in a VLS. It's been great to see him at Div 1 Nats. Obviously, they in the final of Div 2 Nats last year, they might have even got up. So it's great that they've obviously progressed as a club. Here playing a bronze medal game, but yeah, they're just not bringing it today, Andrew.
No, probably not.
And there's, yeah,
Two
plenty
tough days.
of frisky smiles on the sideline. Laura Manescu is very happy with herself.
We might see if we can get a minute with Rory Connell. Might see if we can get him for a minute. You can pull up a chair if you want to sit for a little while. Rory, obviously involved in that play, throwing the goal. Fair to say this game going a bit more your way than the game before.
Yeah, I do think that's fair to say. I think we've gotten pretty lucky having a pretty tough semi in the wind, where we really just got it put to us by a team who adjusted better to the conditions. And I think we took a lot out of that, which is good. So hopefully it's a constructive loss. And it looks like we're implementing a lot of the stuff I think we learned in that game in this one, and yeah, seems to be going pretty well.
Now, usually at mixed nats, the term constructive loss, particularly in a semi, would just be an empty platitude. But you guys obviously looking at world clubs, so that's got some legitimacy behind it as we watch an ordinary pull from Henry Thomas. You're going to have a chat to him about that. That's shizen. So yeah, you guys, obviously your tournament doesn't, your journey doesn't end here?
Yeah, absolutely. This is I think the biggest thing that we're looking to get out of this tournament, and the thing that we have been looking to get out of this tournament, has been just developing our connections and developing our tactics, going into the qualifying 20 in Melbourne later on in December, and then hopefully on a World Clubs from there. Obviously it'd be good. Oh, nice snips. Obviously it'd be good to be in that final spot against the other Friskee team. Club's come a long way, but it's not the most important thing for us here.
As we watch Henry Thomas have a put.
Oh, he's just send it, Ali. Okay.
Back to this game briefly. Opponents aside, what do you think the one difference is? We watch a nice shutdown from Max on the dump, and that gets a turnover. Bopped past A-Shep. Long shot.
Oh, that's nice.
To Ali Zalam sitting under it.
Oh, what's happening?
Scenario chasing. It's sitting up. It's still up. It's still up. It's still up. And Linus comes through and just, O'Sullivan comes through and just grabs it. And doesn't break stride as he goes.
He's just trotting all up.
Yeah, geez. He
Isn't that
hasn't
nice?
stopped yet.
Oh, it's gone.
Sullivan, and that's out of bounds near A-Shep. Back to this game briefly. What do you think the one biggest difference, opponents aside, you guys brought to this game compared to the semi?
Hard to say. I think I think we definitely tried to have a good response mentally and I guess emotionally to that last game. We came out probably we've come out with a lot more passion than it seems they're putting in at the moment.
Always hard to rebound from a semi.
Yeah,
you've got the two teams are lost,
and it's something you do need to focus on and work on. It's never an automatic thing coming out of a loss, and then having to play in about 15 minutes.
Yep. And structurally, was there any difference from or different instruction from the coaches? We've noticed here that in the first game you did seem to work it down that far sideline, perhaps a bit too much, whereas now there's a lot of appetite to bring it onto the close side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely one of the things that we brought out, that we took out of that game, was trying to run it down the same sideline every time just wasn't working for us. Even when you do have a clear, strong and weak sideline, you got to be a little better than that. Is
that the worst throw of the tournament? Most challenging throw.
Yeah, it's the most challenging throw of the tournament.
Maybe it's the most challenged throw. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Oh, that's not fair to Henry. Like this wind.
No, it's not.
Do you want to tell the viewers what's going on with the wind? This is probably as bad as it's been today.
Look, it's super gusty. You can probably see from the view of the field the trees out there, but it's definitely probably about medium consistently, like a medium level, and then
well done,
it gusts to a very high, stiff wind. Basically, if you're throwing pretty much anything above 3 meters, that is going awry.
as A-Shep experienced himself. We've seen a couple of shots into the end zone, and now
Drop
Henry,
boosters.
that's a bit better. Oh,
Oh, all right.
tough catch.
A bit of territory.
If nothing else, that's for territory. Well, look, Rory, thank you very much. Commiserations on being knocked out of semi, but as we said, World Clubs is the focus for you guys. So
Yep.
all the best. I think there are, latest count, about 36 teams trying out for the one spot we probably
For the
get.
mix, yeah.
Got it all our own way
New
in the
ones
men's and
cropping
women's.
up every day.
Yeah, so best of luck for that. Hopefully you guys take a lot out of this, and best of luck for the rest of the game.
Sweet, thanks, man.
All right, welcome Tony back. Tony will get the call as VLS come in. Almost lost our, we have lost our screen.
Lost our
Back
screen,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do. So amongst all the talk and roars, there's been a fair few turns from both teams. VLS now having another shot at the end zone. Working it through the handlers at the moment. There's A-Shep. A-Shep's having a look at the up line, hits it. Now this is where it's tough. This last 5 meters in the corner. Oh, what a grab. Emma, fantastic grab. The number 5 jersey for VLS. Emma Lothian, that's a fantastic grab. One-hander. And VLS, fair to say, desperately needed that one. We're just having a few technical difficulties with our screen here, but it is windy. So, that's VLS with their second goal for the game. And we're at 9-2. So Friskee are going to have a rare offensive point here. Crowds are starting to gather now from the other fields 5 to 8 that are just down the road. So all the games are starting to wrap up. People starting to come down for the final. So again, as Andrew said previously, that's 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Hobart time for the final between Meraki from Melbourne and Friskee coming out of Sydney. Should be a good game. Not an easy one to pick. And there's plenty of KFC kicking around, Andrew. There's plenty of burgers, plenty of chalky milks. It's all happening.
The sooner this ends, one of their other mates.
Yeah. Pool is a bit of a roller here, not a bad one. It's going to get a fair bit of territory and stick him on the sideline. Nice early swing though to Esh. That's there's a pick call. I don't think it's really going to affect that though. I think that's probably a turn. However, it may have been called far before the throw. No, they're going to retract it. And it's going to be VLS picking it up, going probably into the wind now. It seems to be it just turned just a touch to be a touch more upwind downwind, but yeah, it's still pushing away from the camera side of the field where we are. So VLS here, Friskee putting the pressure on, high loopy throw. Esh makes the play and then just immediately gets foot blocked. That's a great defensive play. And Linus is going to pick the disc up for VLS.
Rob to Hollander. Nice grab. Here they go. This could be an upwind break. Caro's got to sit under it. She's got it. She's not in.
Oh, no. Oh, and that is a heartbreaker. And Friskee going to take this one away. Cannot really see with everyone in the way here. But play stopped now. Looks like it is a turn. Just dropped it straight down. Big loopy throw from VLS to the back of the end zone. It's going to be hauled in.
Carol Tamas.
Andrew, hold the phone.
9-3. They get their upwind break. It's the first one.
There's just a touch more noise coming from the VLS sideline now. Who knows? You get another. You want to put this downwinder in and get another one, and you got a very interesting game on your hands.
Alrighty, so 9-3, Andrew Moroney just steps out of the booth for 2 seconds, preparing himself for the final. And Friskee gonna have to do some offense into the win now. Gonna go with 4 women for this line, so they've called 4 women. And as said before, there's a bit more voice coming from that VLS sideline, and you never know. We've seen some strange things happen. Hands are up, we're ready to go. VLS just making their final adjustments for the D point. Here we go, we're finally ready. The pull goes up. Big outside in Blady. Rory's under it, but he's just going to say, you know what? And it's almost hit Andrew Moroney at the back there, but Rory's left it and it's gone round the toilet block, so he's got a fair chase to get a new disc. So a bit of a lull in play here. They might even give him a new disc and not make him chase it, or is someone going to go get it for him? No, they've got a new disc, so Rory's going to bring it in. And Friskee's offense will be underway. Looking for Max Halden early. Doesn't want him. That's a nice cut. Will it get it? Oh, great hands there. Dumps immediately to Henry, who just goes up the line. Get it, bid. Oh, bad luck. Just missed it. Hopefully she's okay. It's Kath O'Neill, I think it is. There's a hard bid, and she's going to call injury for the second time in this game. So she's been in the wars a little bit. A great bid right in front of me. Just didn't quite get it done. Friskee teammates making sure she's okay. I think she will be. Just needs a minute to compose herself. So, VLS going to have another chance to get another point in. Picking up from about half field, and they're on the strong side. And it's gone up straight away to the end zone. It's going to just turf. Yeah, the wind just got hold of that. It's very hard to shoot to that side. We've said it over and over again in the coverage. But yeah, the wind's pushed that one down. Receiver couldn't make the play, and Friskee's going to get their second chance on offense here in this point. So we've got Henry walking it up. He's on the weak side here. So Henry looking downfield, fakes the big backhand. It's going to look dumped now. Rory's going to work. Gets it nice and easily. Ignores the swing option to Manescu. Now goes inside. Nice flow flick. Max Halden. Immediately back to Rory. Max wants it back. The throw doesn't sit enough for him. VLS got a short field turn here. Max very physical on the mark. Inside flick. It's floating. And the receiver's got a hold of it. VLS on the charge. Joined in the booth. Firing the booth with Jodie Palmer.
Hello, everyone.
And that's VLS Jodes on a 3-point run after being 9-1 down.
It's comeback time, bringing it back. That's what the spectators want to see.
That's it.
No one likes a one-sided game. Everyone loves a good comeback.
No, absolutely not. We do want a good game here. VLS signalling 4 men now for this point. Jodes, tell us about your tournament. How's it been?
It's been so much fun. This is my first year playing with, I don't even know what you would call the team because we change our name every year.
Correct.
This year we were Helen Newman, and I'm one of the interstate guests. I live in Perth at the moment, but we're a Melbourne-based team, so I've been lucky enough to be invited to play with them, and I've had a really, really fun tournament. It's been tough because we're a bit low on female numbers, but that's all right. Everyone loves a good, tough tournament. It's been good times.
Beautiful. No, good to hear. So how's the body feeling now after questionable draw of 9 games in 3 days?
We played 10 games.
Yes, we played 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
I reckon I've got a blister on every single one of my toes, so that's always good times.
Yeah, that'll do it. A good way to start the pre-season. Just a real high-end tournament.
For sure.
Coming straight off hitting the beers for a couple months without too much training, if you're anything like me.
So what do you reckon VLS's defensive tactics are going to be here?
They've pretty much put the zone in the bag, so they've had enough of the zone. Wasn't really putting any pressure on Friskee. As you know, Friskee are quite a good zone-o team.
Yeah.
So they're just going with a bit of man, and they've actually been getting some turns. Now we've got Esh here as a central handler. He's going to look to boost pretty much straight away. Lockie Murphy's trying to chase it down, but it's going to have way too much on it. And VLS, again, are going to have a shot at a 4th point in a row.
Not a bad tactic trying to get Friskee to shoot over the top. In this wind, it's really hard to weight those throws nicely so they don't go out the back of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We made the comment as well, Jodes. It's sort of a cross field also, so shooting to that far side away from us.
Yep.
We've seen disc after disc just being turfed on the receiver. It doesn't really sit well for you. But
Yeah,
VLS, got to go the full field though. The only advantage of that turnover. Great bid from Murphy, and I think he's come up with the block.
That's clutch. Right on the end zone line.
And it's really for both teams, Jodes. That short field turnover has been massive.
Yeah.
If you can get the turnover upfield, just makes it so much easier. Esh now looking end zone. Had some nice low flicks.
Oh.
Went the dump back. Oh, no.
Maxie.
Oh, wow. Bobbled a fair bit there for VLS.
That was some excitement.
I think they deserved to come up with that, and Friskee
Yeah.
wouldn't have really deserved a goal there. So common sense prevails, and VLS are going to have another shot at it. They're in the
reckon they're
corner
gonna
of death. Linus with power position, thinking about the boost, doesn't do so. Tried to hit the inside, and Murphy again, second block for the point. Immediately just jacks the big backhand. Is it going to sit for Esh? No, it is not. Probably fair to say, Jodes, he didn't really read that one overly well. I think he might have been able to make the play, but again, very tough in this winds. Very blustery. It's not even consistent at all.
Tough.
So.
Yeah. Because you set yourself up in a good position where you think it's going to come, and then a big gust will just send it over your head or straight into the ground.
All right, so we've got VLS now. Another shot at it. Looking upfield, nice cut across. That's Linus. No, it isn't actually. Linus downfield looking for the goal. Now they're in the corner. We've said it all game. I don't want to just harp on the same thing, but you cannot go to that corner and stay there.
Yeah.
You're giving up short field turnovers, and they've done so again.
You should go tell them, Tone.
Well, I don't know if they'll listen to a random bloke from Melbourne. They've got no idea who that is. Esh puts up some pure garbage, which is going to work. Murphy had a great point there. That's probably the best we could say about that point.
It's probably
2 blocks
the
from him.
only period of 3 seconds all day where the wind has died, just when you decide to throw that cross end zone blade.
And Friskee just restore a bit of sanity to the game. VLS had a nice little run there.
Short-lived though. Has there been much for women called in this game? I know
Yeah.
Friskee like to play it against us.
It's been a bit of a pretty much even, I'd say,
Yeah.
between 4 men and 4 women, which is obviously good to see.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on sort of that end zone rule, Jodes? What do you agree with it? Would you like to see something different in mixed?
I think the end zone decides rule is much better than offense decides because it means that you can make defensive structures and plays that revolve around having a particular gender split. But I think probably I would prefer to see just the alternating rule like they did at World Games.
Yep.
Just makes it, I don't know, I think a bit more legitimate in terms of it being a mixed gender game. There's no, I don't know, no like deciding which is like better or more important playing 4 men or 4 women. If you just alternate, then you don't need to worry about it and everyone is just on an even playing field.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I think it forces teams to be strong across both genders and value both genders the same. And it, obviously with the equality debate that's sort of raging on as a broader thing, a broader topic. I think that alternating rule is probably the way to go for mine. But again, I'd also agree the end zone rule is certainly better than offense decides.
Yeah, it's a good intermediate step, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And inevitably you see a lot of 4 men played, unfortunately, which I think takes away from mixed as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, back to the present day. We've got VLS in the corner of death. Emma Lothian on the undercut.
Oh,
Boost the big
rip.
backhand. It's not quite going to sit, but I like the shot. I like the shot to the strong side. You're going to get more of a chance for the disc to sit.
Yeah.
Just out of the receiver's reach, but wasn't too far away. So not a bad option, I think, Jodes, but just missed the throw.
Yeah, I like that. I reckon if VLS is going to come back in this game, they might have to play a little bit of high risk, high reward ultimate.
So Rory picking up the disc in that handler role he's been playing all game. And you might even see an early boost from him on Stevens' strong side. You're not going to see that though. He's going to take the short under and make me look very silly. Minescu on a nice undercut as she does so regularly. And they're just going up this line with some open unders. VLS going to need to stop that. Very physical mark. I think he's called contact and got on with it. unfortunately, Friskee have dropped that one. They're going to give VLS a second shot at it.
Looking to rip. Holsters.
Still looking to rip, I reckon. Yep,
Yes!
high stall count. There's a rip. We
Great
did call
rip.
it. It's actually going to come off. Oh!
Oh,
Alex Gann, he's got a lot of talent, and
He
he's made
does.
the play in that one.
speedy boy.
Yep. No, he's always, I've played on him a few, I think only in mix. I don't think I've ever played on him in men's, but over the last couple of years, and yeah, my hamstrings have not enjoyed it. But, you know, I always enjoy matching up on Gann. Now, Rory now on the weaker side. Finds Seb Hardy in the middle. He's going to look for Minescu, miss her. Minescu with their trademark bid. Couldn't even come up with that off of that one. VLS now reasonably short field turn. A Shep gets it, middle of the field. He'll be looking end zone, I would have thought. But he's dumped it back to that
Holsters.
side. Interesting. And there it is. Blady flick. High risk. They got to do it, Jodes. You said it. They
Yeah.
got to do it to get back into it. So I don't mind it. But yeah, didn't really give the receiver a chance at all there.
Yeah, I reckon when you're that close to the end zone, more like any team can just work it in. I reckon when you're in the backfield trying to get it out of your defending end zone, you can grip and rip, but when you're out front of the end zone, it's not that hard to just move it.
Him at this point. He's going to try and get it off that line. I would have thought pretty much straight away. Gann's open. Now Gann goes upfield, clearing. Hasn't got much on here to go to. Connell eventually finds Stacey on the swing, who's going to find Hardy. Unfortunately, bobbled the catch, and this is what VLS wanted. They got that short field turn. I think there's an injury call, perhaps. Or he's just had his hand in the air like, yep, I was close enough. That was my defensive pressure.
Taking the win.
Man, they've got to pick up the disc. Probably 3 metres out from the end zone. Strong side of the field. Looks like they might have isolated A-Shep. A-Shep and Gann going to work on each other. Now not looking there, looking to dump. Does so now. Gets it to the middle of the field. Still looking end zone. Still looking end zone. Probably too many cutters going for VLS. Dumps again. They've lost a lot of ground here. They've still got the disc. Faking the flick. Gets the round backhand going.
The
There
old
it
okey
is.
doke pivot. Got him. VLS are pretty pumped to get that one.
Yeah, hit the brake side. Nice cut out there. Faked the forehand. Didn't pivot, step around, or anything like that. Just throws the backhand around him. Goal. Rory's got a bit of a smile. He's gotten beaten to the brake side. No shame in that.
It's not your job as a cutter defender.
Nah, just cover the open unders.
Yeah.
Rory does that exceptionally well. He's a bit of a pain to play on again, to be honest. Andrew's fresh out of KFC. Got a bit of food. No, he's got a maybe lower quality chicken and he's not happy about it.
Yeah, it looks pretty salty. Looks salty.
So again, we've got the final on later today. Meraki, however you want to say it, from Melbourne, playing Friskee, who are the non-WUC Friskee, I suppose, team out of Sydney. So that's at 3 o'clock Hobart time. Should be a good game. Crowds are starting to get here from the other games. They're all finishing up. Monstars versus F Troop just behind us is the last game going here today, after unfortunately Hello Newman ran out of juice. And, couldn't front up for their last game against CAF. So CAF will take the the coveted 7th position there. So hands are up. Going to resume the game again. Pool goes up, probably going to get about half the field with a bit of roll, taking it to 3/4. Ash stops it and then says, you know what, I'm just going to pick it up. Gets it to the strong side. Vo on the field. Hasn't played too many points, Vo. Might be carrying an injury or maybe just can't be bothered. Flicks it into Murphy. Murphy on a nice little gainer. Ash wanted it back, didn't get it. Vo spills the catch.
Chance for a break here for VLS.
And they don't have to go the whole way as well. Here we go, strong side. I would have thought just boost it. Doesn't do so. Hits the under though. Nice throw. And there's the boost. Murphy going to make the play. No, he's not. Almost there. Probably 1 metre to go. There's maybe a bit of a travel call. Looking to dump. Bit of pressure on. Catch that.
Nice.
And
That's a
she's
break
come up
for
with
VLS.
it. And there's the out window. Great grab.
Oh, it looks like there's a stoppage on the field. Some
Cool.
kind of call. Oh, stall out call.
Interesting. Well, Jodes, if this goal stands or if it goes back and they can get one, it's 10-6.
Yep.
And then they got the
2
win.
in a row.
It's
for
not out of
VLS.
the question.
It's not.
We've seen crazy things happen before.
That's the good thing about the way that games work in Frisbee. It's never over until that last point scored.
That's it.
Seen many comebacks that make games go for 2 hours because the winning team can't just punch that last
Punch that
goal
last
in.
one in. Yeah, you can't sit on the lead in Frisbee. It
No.
looks like maybe a contested stall, so the disc is going to come up pretty soon. Players just moving back to their... It actually was 10 seconds. That's pretty rare. Most stalls are about 6. Disc comes back in, bobbled catch.
Oh, unlucky.
Couldn't make the play again. And yeah, Friskee with a bit of a let off there. That was could have been a vital up-winder. However, they're going to get another chance to put it in. And again, Jodes, you'd think you'd be pumping it pretty quick, and you got Callan Spielman on your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just sort it, please, Ash. There it is. Puts it up. Worst thing is going to happen is going to get D'd, which it does. But they're down the other end of the field now. And they're going to make it hard for VLS to work it all the way up. Although VLS are quickly back onto it, however, the throw doesn't come off. Now Friskee have a bit of a shorter field to work with. Vo getting it. He wanted to swing to Ash. Nice work on the mark there to prevent that one. Callan takes the under instead. Callan now looking downfield. Nice inside out backhand. Was meant for Murphy. Just a bit too tall for him. And if he can't get it up in the air, then it's probably going to be a bit too tall for anyone.
Yeah.
So VLS are going to have to go the whole field, although they're going to start on the strong side.
Who do you reckon their deep target's going to be here? Who are they going to send?
To be honest, not too sure. Don't know. I think it's going to be very hard when you've got Murphy and Spielman against
absolutely.
you. Those deeper shots are going to be really tough, especially in obviously this wind. And we've got the early turn, a short field. Friskee will set up. They do this pretty well. Spielman wanted it. He goes the inside backhand. That's going to come off. And look, I think that's Zalams with the goal.
Yeah, great grab from Zalams.
Yeah, she's had a number of good grabs in this game. Outstretched, plenty of layouts.
Yeah, she's a pretty impressive player.
She's had a good game here. So that takes us, I think it's 11-5 now. Just as we watch the highlight of that one. Yeah, so I think it's 11-5. VLS had that shot, almost got the catch. So not you know, they've come back. Credit to them. 9-1 down. That's obviously not a good spot to be in.
Yeah, that's
They've
not.
stayed positive. It's hard. Just day 3. You've lost the semi just before.
Yeah.
You're playing for bronze. But yeah, credit to VLS as a team. They've kept the smiles going, kept getting around each other. No chippiness at all. And they find themselves in a position where they're making an interesting game, Jodes.
Yeah, this is much better watching than 9-1. No one likes a one-sided game.
Nah. I think Andrew Moroney was hoping for an early finish so he could duck off the KFC before the final.
Get some
However,
dirty bird.
I think that dream might be over for him.
got Alex Shepard on the field now, I reckon VLS knows what's good for them. They'll just rip it to A-Shep in the end zone.
Yeah, no, look, that'd be the play I'd go to. That'd be plan A. Plan B, Emma Lothian, I think. She's
Yeah,
had some really
she's
nice
a
deep
solid
cuts.
deep target. Yeah, absolutely. Very
Henry
fast.
with the pull, and he only gets it to halfway, so that's an
That's
indicator.
saying something.
Yeah, so that's an indicator at home if you're watching on of how strong this wind is. Henry just getting it just about halfway. But they're jammed on that sideline, so VLS will want to get it off there. They do so now. Oh, bobbled the catch. No, it doesn't quite come up with it. Eunice trying to make the play there, and Friskee going to get yet another short field to work with. Henry looking upfield, realises he's got a nice swing, uses it. Not much movement out of the stack for Friskee here. Going to look dump. Henry's going to work, wants it back, not going to get it, and there's a pick call somewhere involving Manescu. Doesn't mind a bit of physical contact, Manescu, on the Frisbee field. Just a bit of querying about what it's coming in on. I would imagine it'd be a pretty high stall count. Here we go. Goes the inside flick, gets it off Manescu. Nice grab down low. She's looking end zone, wants to boost it. Bit of a body fake. Tries to get it across to Can, but unfortunately the wind just gusted. Picked it up and then rolled it another 15 metres. So VLS had a bit of a break for once. A-Shep's just gone. That throw's not going to do him any favours, I don't think. But that was the right look, Jodes. That's the one we talked about.
Absolutely.
A-Shep, he knew straight away. As soon as that disc was rolling, he was gone.
Absolutely legged it.
And yeah, no, good cut, but again, don't want to harp on it, but yeah, tough to shoot to that half of the field.
For sure. When you've got A-Shep alone in the end zone, usually shouldn't be too hard to hit him because he's pretty quick.
Yeah,
He cover a lot of space, but this wind is making these throws really tough.
Anywhere in the field would have done, I think.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And Henry's gone the swing pass across, and it hasn't come off. I think Stacey was the intended receiver. Not sure if it was a missed throw or a missed catch. But now VLS have got going to have it right out the front of the end zone. You'd think they'll isolate either Emma Lothian or A-Shep, which looks like what they might be doing. Lothian now cuts. There's the break throw, and it sits for her, and that is a goal. Pretty easy game sometimes.
All you need to do is just throw and catch.
Yep. Catch it in the end zone, add one to your scoreboard. So we've got 11-6 now. VLS just hanging tough, hanging in there. It'd be tough to see him come back, given the wind.
That'd be a big effort.
But you never know. But
Not out of
timeout
the
called by
question.
Friskee. Maybe perhaps getting a bit tired, or
Yeah, just having a little rest.
Yui coaching Friskee.
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe he might have seen something he's not too happy with.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're building towards the WUC qualifiers, December 2nd and 3rd in Melbourne. Sunny Melbourne, hopefully, by December.
Let's
but,
hope so.
Maybe we're hoping a bit too much. But, yeah, so initially, Joe's, I heard it was 6 teams that were going for a
That's
mixed spot.
also the number that I've heard. Yep.
But today I've heard there's a couple of whispers about a couple more teams. Maybe
Oh,
putting their name in.
really?
So,
Interesting.
those 2 guaranteed spots.
Yeah, that's going to be so tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a very hard-fought tournament, I would have thought. So I'll definitely be heading down December 2nd and 3rd and having a look. It's in my hometown.
That'll be some great ultimate to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
High stakes.
definitely be getting into Frisbee in Victoria. That'd be a really good high-level tournament where there's a bit on the line. A nice trip to America and wherever else you can go, depending on how much time you get off work and how much coin you got. So there's a fair bit on the line. Yes, all expenses paid. I definitely have not dropped 20 grand on this sport in about 3 years.
Oh, no way.
No way.
You wouldn't do that.
Yep, no, I probably could have a house by now. However, I'm living at home, mum and dad, just turned 27.
Living the dream.
Nevertheless, we'll keep carrying on. And VLS are just doing a little bit of pre-pull throwing. We're going to go 4 women, which is always good to see. And I'd like to get to the stage, Jodes, where we don't have to say, oh, it's good to see 4 women, or this team use their girls well.
Yeah.
It's just not a compliment, it's just what's done. So.
Yeah, it should be a standard for every team to use their girls, not just the good teams.
Yeah, I think we're headed there. Jodes. I think we've, look, I obviously have come from other sports, and yeah, certainly I think Frisbee's very forward thinking in that regard. And I think definitely already in a good spot and taking steps to improve that equality between both genders in the mixed game.
Yeah, for sure. AFTA's got a vision for 50-50 by 2020, so they want to get 50-50 gender split for participation and coaching, I believe, by the year 2020. So I think that's a really good initiative from the AFDA, because a lot of the time the problem that teams have with trying to play for women is they just don't bring enough women to tournaments. They bring, say, like 10 men and only 6 or 7 women. So hopefully with this 50-50 by 2020, we'll get more women ultimate, and it'll be easy to have that even gender split.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So as the call of no unders goes straight away, they give one to Max Halden, and he says, you know what, I'm going to boost the flick, which you don't often see from Maxie, but it was money in the bank.
Yeah, absolutely. That
and
was
again,
a
Jodes,
throw.
it can be an easy game sometimes.
It
We've
can
got
be,
2 passes, added 1 to the scoreboard for Friskee, which will take them to 12, and they got 3 more to get, and that'll be a bronze medal, another medal for Friskee.
Another one to add to the pool room.
And it is good to see Friskee, obviously, the club that you've joined, and my team of, I guess, starting a bit of a club and having a bit of that, you know, set history with mixed and not just picking up different stuff every year. But it's good to see Friskee, a team, obviously they, you know, really value that mixed season and get together, train, work hard. And then you got, you know, your teams like your Paradigm and stuff. So it's really good to see more of those set clubs coming out for that the mixed game.
Yeah, back in the day it was always just a bunch of pickup teams coming in mixed mats every year. But yeah, it's really good to see people taking the mixed season a little bit more seriously rather than just something to do in the off season from single gender.
No, 100%. So I guess you played this weekend with a lot of new people.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon about the performance of people? You got any standout individuals that you're like, yep, no, they're sick?
Oh yeah, old mate Tony Castrojano wasn't bad.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, no, he was
enough.
alright. No, I've been actually, I've never played with Jeff Grundy before, but his throws blew my mind this weekend. They were money all weekend.
Griff, the man can play.
Yeah,
he can
he
throw,
absolutely can.
And he can move as well, and when he gets his body right, which is hopefully sometime soon, yeah, I'd say he'd be up there with the best players going around in the country.
Absolutely.
Spielman with the pull. He's only probably got it just over halfway, so again, it is windy, just to reinforce that. Friskee gone with a bit of a zone by the looks of it. Maybe they just had enough of playing man.
Trying out some new things.
So they're going with the pommy zone. Nice inside flick break, and unfortunately just spilled the catch. So Spielman picks it up 10 metres out of his end zone, swings to Connell. Connell's really enjoyed faking the hucks and not actually throwing them. Henry's not averse to throwing them, and I'd be throwing them to Spielman too, although that has just tailed away from him right at the end.
That's a great chase by Waz there.
Yeah, no, he made the play, made it hard enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'd argue caused the turnover. So VLS now going against the zone, which Friskee set up pretty well. However, VLS have gained probably 30 metres or so since they picked it up. Now they're in the corner though, Jodes. This is hard to get out of, but they've gone the sideline route, and now about 20 metres to go, and that's the swing they need. So they need to keep swinging it. He says, no, bugger that, I'm going to throw it straight to the end zone.
Great shot. That's a great shot through the middle of that zone. He says, you know what, that's why I'm playing the bronze medal game and you're sitting here commentating it. Stuff your swing, I'm just throwing it straight to the end zone. That was money.
And yeah, no, look, that great throw from Linus there. He sort of got that, casual, I just threw a goal. I'm going to get some daps
Trying
and
to be cool.
Talk to the crowd. Cron's got something to say, just for something different.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought Cron had something to say, hey? But yeah, look, that's they're just sort of trading in this game. To be perfectly honest, is just the sting's gone out of it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Friskee will probably just look to trade out the rest of this game. I think they don't need to put in a huge amount of effort to win. If they can just keep holding their offensive points, they should have it in the bag.
And obviously they want to conserve their players, given, as we've said previously, the tournament in a month's time. So I'd imagine they'd be training pretty hard for that. The last thing they'd want is a late tournament injury.
Yeah.
Which we had plenty of for our weekend.
Plenty.
And if anything, this wind's picked up in the last 5 minutes or so.
I would agree with that.
Getting a little bit chilly in the Phoenix Suns basketball jersey I've got on. And it'd be hard to see many teams, or either of these teams, really scoring upwind at all if this continues, because
if some of Australia's best pullers can't even get the disc past halfway going upwind, that's pretty tough.
You're in a bit of strife, hey.
Yeah.
So that'll make the final interesting. hopefully, I really hope we don't, but I just don't want to see a whoever wins the toss wins the
toss,
game.
yeah, that's no good.
That's never good, especially
No.
beside a big game.
No one likes
like
that.
a national final.
Yeah.
So we got another roller pull from VLS. They've been running that through the rest of the second half, so they get it to about halfway, but they put him in that corner of doom. Yeah, VLS completely dispensed with the zone after the first half. Friskee just shredding that at will.
Yeah, I think Friskee's probably got too many strong throwers on their team.
Yep.
Even though it is windy and the over-the-head throws won't work, they can still throw through when they've got handles
Yeah,
like this.
no, 100%. Ash went the swing to, I think that's Kath O'Neill.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite come up with the catch. She's been in the wars a bit, hit by a couple of discs and diving around all over the place, so she's had a tough old game. It's hard to take the frisbee in these conditions though. It does bobble, it does swirl.
Yeah, you think you've got it and then it'll just bobble up or down right at the last second.
Yeah, that's it. So VLS now are going to have a look at an up window. And you never know, Jay Palmer, you never know.
You never know.
So we got the swing dump now. Friskee putting the defense on pretty well. I think we discussed this earlier. The girls play a sort of triangle thing that they did against us, and that's got him yet another turn. So Ash, I reckon he's going to look to boost, to be honest, and he just says, no, I'm going to just swing it to Lockie Murphy. Murphy now finds Carmen on the under. Carmen wants to boost it, goes around. O'Neill swings it over to Ash. Ash looking end zone. Gets held and break side. Back to Ash. Ash getting real busy this point. Goes the high release backhand. That's going to be, I don't know if she landed in or out. Murphy missed the catch.
I reckon her toes are probably in when she
bobbled
caught
over
it.
to Carmen, and VLS has said, you know what, that's a good enough play. Let's not question it too much. That's a goal.
That's a great
Let's
grab.
all get to KFC because it is 13-7. I think it is. Yes, it is. So 13-7. Good play from Carmen. Good heads up.
Yeah, great grab.
Backing up of Murphy, who he made a very good bit on the disc himself, but just couldn't quite get the height there. Maxie Helden just telling everybody why that point was real good from him.
Why Max himself did a good job.
Yeah, why Max did a good job. Got an undercut and gave it back to the handler. That's always good.
Good throw and go move.
Rubes are signalling 4 women again, which seems to be probably become more common than the 4 men in this half, which is good.
Yeah. I think it's a strong tactic for Friskee to play 4 women. They've got really, really strong women on their team and a lot of depth.
No, absolutely. Alrighty, so we've got Spielman with the disc. He's going to give it a rip for the pull. See if he can get any significant way over halfway. Just telling everyone, you know what, just back up here. I don't want any offsides. I don't want to have to do it again. VLS just final instructions for their O point. Could have summarised it in boost it and then play zone, I would have thought, or play some defence. Hands are up now. Spielman goes the pull. That's actually the best one we've seen for a while. That's going to get
that's a good pull.
3/4 or more. Middle of the field. VLS fielding that one. A-Shep wanted the under, got covered by about 3 Friskee defenders. Blah, can't even speak. Defenders. Which opened up a big lane, which VLS took, but then couldn't get the throw to Emma Lothian.
VLS are just struggling with a few unlucky drops. They're finding the right holes, finding the right options, and then just having a few
and
drops.
that's been the story of this game. I think both teams have actually played it pretty well tactically after the first couple points. So they've tried to boost it to this side of the field, and just the skill from VLS, or their skills haven't come off. Spielman actually made great position for that huck from Connell, and then
uncharacteristic drop.
Usually the safest hands in Australia, I would have thought, but not that time. But yeah, it's just been the execution from VLS. They've tried to do the right thing. They've boosted it when they've had to boost it. It just hasn't come off, whereas Friskee have just been a bit sharper, a bit cleaner. And that probably comes from, I dare say, training a little bit more and playing together for longer. Emma Lothian was on there. Again, the disc is bobbled. Again, it's turfed. She hasn't done anything wrong there.
Yeah, they're really tough catches to make, especially when the disc is blading a little bit.
Spielman now says, all right, we'll just boost it to Rory. Maybe that'll work. Reverse the last one. Rory goes up, doesn't get it. Maybe a bit of a chance at the back there. Always hard to read, and VLS are going to pick it up again. A-Shep's gone. Do it. No, didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
Swung it over to the other side. Now you're in the corner of death. Looking upfield, not too much happening. Gets the around, nice throw though, and spilled, unfortunately. But again,
another unlucky drop, another great throw, and just really unlucky drop at the end of it.
And in fairness, I did say do it. I did say boost it, but the mark was very busy, very straight up-ish.
Yeah.
But Friskee are going to have the shot at the up window. That'll take them to 14-7 if they can convert. And they'll have a nice down window to finish off the game. Rory swings it to Spielman. Spielman looking to swing. Does so now. Eunice. She's looking middle. Gets it to there. Dump to Connell. About his 400th throw for the game. Goes the inside flick. Minescu
great bid from Minescu.
Doesn't quite get there. That was always going away from her. And I don't know if she really thought that was coming. But nice throw, nice bid. Didn't quite connect. Roney's getting very antsy on the sideline. He wants some KFC.
Still looking for it.
He's been talking about it. He's been talking about Tim Tams. Anything other than the Frisbee, he's been talking about it. So, VLS initial unders. A-Chef's going to get it on the swing. He's going to swing it to this high side. And Minescu just says, nah, not up in here. Must hit that down. But then Zalum's made it very difficult for Connell, or either that or he made a very easy catch look difficult. Spilt it, and VLS are going to get it back. Definitely a bit of a late game feel about this one, Jodie Farmer.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams looking a bit tired, Friskee just trying to get the job done.
Understandable when this is your 9th/10th game you've played in 3 days.
Yeah, that's tough.
Coming off an off season.
Yeah.
But another turn, unfortunately, for VLS. Rory hits the break backhand, just had too much flow for the receiver. I think it was Eunice there. Couldn't get the ups. And we've got another turn. Emma Lothian's looking longer. She's got 2 defenders on her. There should be someone free. They go the swing into the middle of the field. Looking dump. Rory Connell covers that well. A-Chef gets disc. Gets it to Lothian. She's going to boost. Yes, great shot.
Great shot.
Just through the receiver's
unlucky.
hands.
That's a great look from Lothian there.
Carolyn Tamas, not sure how we pronounce that one, but yeah, it's always hard, Jodes. I know we've said it a little bit in the last 5 minutes, but that was a bit of a bullet.
Yeah, going downwind, you can try and put as much touch on it as you like, but with the wind behind you, it's going to make it come down pretty fast.
However, that's the shot. Friskee going to have to go the whole field against the wind. Connell's going to do his best picking it up as a central handler. Swings it to Spielman. Spielman on the high side. He might look to just step around and launch that lefty backhand. Just takes the under. Taken nicely. Still on the sideline. Very busy mark. Connell gets it again. And he pumps the flick. That's Seb Hardy. He's going to get it. He's probably 5 outside his end zone. Zalum's ahead of him. Looks her off. Now dumps. Eunice gets up for the grab. Going to hit the break side. I think there's a pick call there, though. Zalum's catches probably an 8th goal for the game.
Yeah.
Pig is retracted. Another one on the board. Friskee gone 14-7 on VLS. And they'll have a downwind point to secure the bronze medal at the Mixed Ultimate Championships for 2017.
Yeah, you would think this should be pretty easy in this next point for Friskee. All they got to do is just get a block and then just rip it, I reckon.
Yeah, just keep pumping it in. Keep asking VLS the question: Can you take it the whole length of the field into the wind?
Yeah, they've proved that to be really, really difficult. So shouldn't be too difficult for Friskee to get this block here.
So Laura, one of Andrew's very sterling questions from earlier was, you can get with Tim Tams. You familiar with Tim Tams?
I am familiar with Tim Tams.
Very good. So you can get 11 original Tim Tams. Apparently, I don't eat that garbage, but 11 original Tim Tams, or you can get 8 double coat Tim Tams at any shopping centre, and they're the same price. So what do you go? Do you go the originals? You get 11 originals, or you get 8 double coats?
I am a big fan of the double coats. I reckon they're better than the originals.
Yep.
But I think I'm more of a fan of value for money. So I reckon I would go with the higher quantity over the quality.
The quality, interesting. No, see, I went the other way. But the point Andrew made to me is that if you've got 8 that are double coated, you're getting 16 toppings worth of chocolate. Was his point, and you're only getting 11 on the single coat. I'll leave it with you. Oh, actually, no, you're gonna have a bit of time to talk about it because that disc's gone back to Melbourne.
Oh, the Tim Tam packets are the same weight, we've heard. Good insider information from
Yeah,
Lockie Wise.
Locko Wise has always got something good to add, and he's just added in that those Tim Tam packs are the same weight. So perhaps
So 8 double coat Tim Tams
weigh
are
the same
weight
as
as
11.
11 original Tim Tams.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Look, I think we tackle the big issues here,
We do.
and we might come back to that one. Here we go, Friskee now. They get that short turn we spoke about. Nathan Stacey, knife left backhand, 10 metres to the bronze medal. Oh, there it was.
Unlucky drop.
Spilt, but bad luck. And you'd think they'll get another chance shortly.
Yeah.
Not taking away anything from VLS. They've been fantastic all game.
Yeah,
but it's
this
just
wind
getting
is
really
just
hard
really
to do it.
tough,
Although
yeah.
that is a rip.
That is a great upwind
Linus can
huck.
get up, and he
Great
does.
read, great grab.
Stacey couldn't make the play, and here we go. We've written him off. By we, I mean I. And Linus has got nothing in way of a stall count, but he's let all the defenders come back, and then he's boosted it. Plenty of space, but that is going to just trail
Cooked
out of
it.
bounds.
Absolutely cooked it.
Tough throw.
What I would have liked to see there is Linus just look for a dump and then just move the disc around a little bit and work it into the upwind end zone.
Yep, no, I agreed. I think
Got a little bit too excited.
an early dump is always good.
Yeah.
Off the huck. He showed some impressive ups to reel
Yeah,
that one in.
absolutely. Do you know what you call that, Tone? You call that conservation of greatness. When you do something really good, you got to just dump it afterwards because
Yep.
you don't want to undo your good thing by stuffing up the next throw.
But he's going to get another chance because Friskee have turfed the first cut since they've got it. Probably could have boosted it straight away, but they haven't. Linus now, he swings. Looking end zone, we're 10 metres out. Friskee is set up with that sort of poachy defence, but we've found, I think that's Jordana Rock, and she's gone break side of
great
Linus.
throw.
VLS said, no, bug ears, we're going to stay in this game for a little while longer.
I love this. That's so good.
And we're taking it to 14-8.
Yes.
And you know what? If you had to pay to come to this, then
Yeah.
VLS are giving you value for money. Because
Yeah, absolutely.
they could have easily said, it's day 3, we've played
Yeah.
10 games,
Yeah.
we're 9-1 down, we just lost a semi. Bugger this, we're going to just throw it away, get to KFC, but they haven't done that. They've dug deep,
Yeah.
they've made some good plays, and they worked their way back into it.
Yeah, that's good. I love teams that don't roll over and die at the end of games, even if they're down by a fair bit. I love seeing teams fight all the way to the end.
So I've just got word around the grounds here that Monstars have got up over F Troop 7-6 in what was obviously a shortened game. I think there's been a few shortened placing games today given the, I guess, the lack of desire to get injuries or the lack of desire to perhaps play another game at this point.
Yeah.
It's been a very tough tournament.
It
It's
has.
been lovely weather in Hobart, but it has
Yeah.
been hot.
Yeah. A lot warmer than I expected from Tasmania. I thought it was going to be a bit chilly down here, but it's been beautiful.
No, it has been good. It's been really, really nice weather. So,
Yeah.
for those watching on a Queensland, your boys and girls got up, and that will give them, I believe,
I think
fifth
fifth
place.
place. Yeah, yeah.
So, good for the Monstars, and a really good from F Troop. We didn't unfortunately get to see F Troop,
Yeah.
but had some good games. It was good
I
to
heard
watch
that
them.
they're one of the teams that's trying to go to world clubs as well.
There you go. So that's something they can take in.
Yeah.
That 6th place for F Troop. That's something they can take to qualifier.
Yeah.
So Friskee got the chance to win the game here. They got to go full field against the wind, but they'll have a fair shake of it. Rory's gone downfield for this point, which is a bit unusual. He's been handling basically the whole game, but Ash has also been doing a nice job with his low release flicks.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how they go about it. A bit of a horror here from Friskee. Ash looking downfield. Rory comes under. Ash not interested. Going to dump it to Henry. Gets it to him now. Henry says, yep, I'm going to boost this. And Rory's going to catch it. Zalam's cutting long again. Minescu takes the under. Nice jukes. Bit of a double team there. Gets it back to Ash and cuts away again. Zalam's is on there. Oh, what a block.
You know, I always say, don't lay out on the mark, and then someone lays out on the mark and gets a
gets a
hand
block.
block. That's sick.
I reckon I've laid out a fair bit on the mark and never got a block from it.
That's so tough.
Well done.
That
Good
was so
anticipation.
impressive. Absolutely.
And now he's going to have a shot at the end zone. And you just say, just boost it from here, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Get it out of there.
Bang. Good backhand down the line.
Oh,
it's not going to.
unfortunately
Oh, did
not
it come
coming
back?
back in.
And that is actually big. If it's come back in, it's going to have to be up here. But it didn't look to me like it made it back in. So it's going to be
back up right in front of us here in the
That's
commentary booth.
unlucky.
And that means that Friskee are going to have a slightly shorter field than they did before to have a crack at getting the score.
What do you reckon the play will be here? Boost it or work the unders?
I reckon you'll see Henry look at it for 3 to 4 seconds, and then he'll just step around with his gigantic legs,
Yeah.
get it around, and then it'll just
Yeah.
go into work for Friskee to work it up. But I
Nice.
think he'll have a bit of a taste,
Have a taste.
initially. And he's looking there, I called it, he looked there. Is that not going to come back
Oh,
in? No, I think that
so
might have come
close.
back in though, so it's going to be all the way down there. Now this is the play. Pick it up, boost it. If it
Yeah.
comes off,
Gotta
happy
let
days.
this one rip.
Yep.
Gotta get it out of there.
Cannot afford to get a short field turnover here.
Yeah.
Good pressure from Friskee downfield, got the throw off in the end, took the under. Max Halden getting busy on the mark, however there's a pick call downfield. And Maxie, very good on the hand signals is Maxie, always has been, probably always will be, and he's just let everyone know, I'm up to stall 3 guys, so I'm going to come in stall 3.
So useful when you're watching hand
Absolutely,
signals.
yep. VLS dumping to the middle of the field, swinging it out to the far side now. Having a look at getting this down window. Nice inside throw. It's going to sit there for the receiver. Dumps it back. They're very deep here, VLS. Doesn't matter though, they've just boosted it anyway. And that's the play, I'd say. That receiver's caught it. I'm pretty sure he's out the back. But yeah, the wind again, Jody, just took a hold of that one. I reckon that was a nice throw.
Yeah, he looked good coming out.
And yeah, the wind's just done a bit too much for the receiver there. He's going to just drop it down for Rory. Connell says, all right, well, you couldn't get it done when I wasn't handling, so I'm going to take the disc and I'll do
over.
it myself. So Friskee going to get another shot at closing this one out. F-Troop players behind me just doing their goodbyes, and congratulations on a good tournament. Connell now looking downfield, steps around that backhand. No good that time though, and that's blocked quite easily. So, VLS 10 metres out from their end zone. Can they get it done? Andrew's currently annoying his girlfriend just for something different in front of us. Be great if you could get out of the
Yeah,
way.
they're obscuring our view a little bit.
Locko's just doused him in
huge
some water.
bid from Minescu on
In
that
the
play
meantime, on field, we've got a good bid, sorry. Minescu. She's kind of walked away. I think she's a bit frustrated.
Yeah.
Has been known to get frustrated, Laura Minescu, from time to time. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mind a bit of fire. And now she's going to walk back. Now she's cooled herself down and hopefully have a bit of a constructive talk as to what happened on the play. What did you see, Jodes?
I actually couldn't see it because Andrew Moroney was standing in the way.
Yep. Just like a real pig of a human is Andrew Moroney, to be honest.
It's not good.
Yeah. Just no regard for anything other than himself. Now he's threatening Locko Wise with strawberry milk.
Oh yeah, now he's picking up my strawberry milk. What's going on here? This discussion on the field's taking a while.
Yeah, it is taking a while. Given that we're late game, I think maybe we just send it back, eh?
Yeah.
No, it's an uncontested foul, I think is the
Right.
call that's going to happen. Game advisors are getting busy with their hand signals.
Yeah.
Still going with their hand
Yeah.
signals. Now we've got a thumbs up, so I think that means everyone's good, everyone's sweet. Pick the disc up, walk it back to the end zone, and let's go to work. So Laura has obviously decided not to contest that one. She's going to tap it in. Players are going to move. We're going to walk back up the end zone. Can we get someone on this front cone? I think that's where you're going to need to score because that swing
Yeah, that's
is
tough.
very tough,
Straight
and that's
into
what
the
happened
wind.
there. So try to get it to Emma Lothian. But yeah, into the wind. You've got plenty of spin, get nice and low, and unfortunately couldn't get it done there. Tough throw though. So Henry now picking it up. Friskee have run through the roster of handlers to pick up the disc because it hasn't worked at any other stage. Henry's faking the big ones. Tried to take the under from Eunice Chung, but gust of wind pushes it out of bounds. It's going to be an interesting final, Jody. Look, the sting's gone out of this one, and it has for a while.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be the case for the final, so it'll be interesting to see how the teams combat the wind / work with the wind defensively.
Yeah. Who's your tip, Meraki or Funsky?
Well, haven't seen Meraki. but by all reports use all of their players.
Nice.
So their men and their women,
Nice.
which is really good. But I guess when you've got Tom Regaki, you usually associate teams that Gak plays on with him taking charge and everyone else doing bugger all.
Absolutely.
But that's apparently not the case. VLS have a shot at the end zone there, but Esh duly D's that one. But yeah, so, you know, you got Regaki, Jules Sacre, Mark Junker, so those sort of older Chile crew. But then you got some young Chile/Hoss boys on the male side of things. So yeah, Michael Lau, Mikey Trung, Tom Dalla.
Oh,
good
unlucky.
bid.
Yeah, great bid.
Bad luck. Couldn't reel that one in. But yeah, look, they've got a good range of youth and experience. So I'd have to say they're my pick. And Henry's just launched the backhand. Rory's caught it, but he's out. He tried.
Unlucky.
He says sorry. Didn't know where the line was. Snuck up on me. But in all honesty, just the throw didn't really do him any favours.
Yeah.
But it's very tough. Henry usually just throws nothing but absolute dimes. And they wouldn't push that one out of bounds. So VLS going to have another shot at the end zone, seeing if they can put this one in and extend the game by at least another point. Minescu now closed on the mark. A pick call downfield. It's going to have a bit of a stoppage. Ruben signalling disc is coming in on 1. Nice little up the line, but again,
Unlucky.
that wind's pushed that one down. Very hard to sit him when
Those
you've got the
leading
wind.
passes downwind are really tough.
Super tough. Esh centering to Connell. Connell looking downfield. Says, nah, Henry, you take this one. He says, no, Esh, you take this. I'm going to go deep. Now I've got no old jokes coming back. Henry does it. Andrew said not to do it, and it actually wasn't bad advice for once from Maroney. Didn't really ever get the elevation on that one, unfortunately. And another turn. Who's your tip anyway for the final, Jodes? What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon I'll tip Meraki as well. I think Friskee have got a lot of talent on their team, but I think maybe Meraki's wisdom might prevail in the end.
Yep.
Composure, experience.
But it's going to be a good game. And there's the big...
absolutely.
We'll come back to in a sec. Big... Maxi lost it completely.
A great read from VLS.
To be honest, that VLS boy did not have much of an idea about where the frisbee was, but it's fallen into his lap. And there's another boost to the end zone. Can you juke it?
Oh,
no,
nearly mat goal.
Good pressure defensively. It might be a call on it though. She was in her back a fair bit.
Yeah.
I think in the AFL that might have been just a touch in the back. But they're going to talk it out. And perhaps, it looked like there's contact to me, Joes, but perhaps the Friskee player there is just saying, look, I did touch you, but I think you might have dropped it beforehand. But that's the discussion they're going through.
Look like it's going to be a contested foul.
Yes, it's going to go back. So we've got a contested foul call. Not too much talk about it. Pretty happy just to have it contested. Both the girls slap hands and get on with it, which is what you want to see in a self-refereed sport.
Yeah.
So Maxi, good guy Max Helden, hands the disc back, has a bit of a chat to his man about what's going on in the world. I think he's just establishing when he's coming in on. What I'd like to see, Jodie, and you don't see this often, just throw the same throw.
Yeah.
What was the problem with it the first time? Just throw it again.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. Well, he's thrown a nice round backhand, to be fair.
That's
and he said, yet again, one of the players out there said, no, you know stuff all. I'm going to do what I want.
Do literally the opposite of what you say.
So I'm being made to look pretty silly today, but that's okay. The score, we need a score check from Ash Norton. So it is 14-8 now. So Friskee are going to have another shot. It'll be their second attempt at closing this one out, but this time the main difference is they're going to be downwind. So
14-9 now.
14-9 now. Okay, sorry, 14-9. VLS put up the 4 women's sign. And Friskee going to hopefully, for them, close it out. VLS trying to get a few extra points in because we haven't played enough already. And extend this one out. But yeah, like we've commented on it before, Jodie, and I reckon the fight from VLS has been super impressive for a team that's
absolutely.
Well, I mean, it was really good, obviously, very successful in Div 2 last year. So it's good that they've had that progression as a club. Qualified for Div 1, made the semis, done a really good job.
Yeah, they've had a really impressive tournament.
So So just going back to the final, you'd have to say any team with Mark the Shark throwing it to Rob Andrews is going to be a chance.
That's true. That's
There's going to be a
true,
chance.
Yeah, Funskee's got 3 World Games players on their team.
That's it. So I guess the top end talent is there.
Yeah.
Probably just the question of whether the depth has the amount of experience as Meraki.
Yeah, and if Sharky can keep his composure and not sling too much hummus.
Yeah, correct. But the man can play when he's on.
Absolutely.
So here we go. Friskee for the win. Gann coming on the field now. Has been off for a while, it seems like anyway. Gann and Ashep have had a fantastic matchup, and it's actually been very good to watch. Much better than me playing on Gann.
Would you say they're the two fastest men in Australian Ultimate? Oh, apart from Brendan Ashcroft.
My hamstrings would say they're up there.
Yeah.
But as Friskee take this one, nice throw from Murphy to Gann, who burnt up line.
Yeah.
He's been doing that his whole career. But yeah, look, it's an interesting point. I think that they'd be 2 of the fastest. Ashcroft, I'd say, would have them covered.
Yeah.
Anyway, a good game we've had here.
Yeah,
Friskee get up in the end, 15-9. Just did enough at the start. Did enough at the start to get enough of a lead, and then cruised into the win. VLS, credit to them, stuck at it. Got a couple breaks, got a couple up-winders.
Put on a good show.
Always had a smile.
Yeah.
Weren't having a go at each other. Weren't having a bad time. And I reckon they can be really happy with their tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great tournament, great performance.
Alrighty, so again, the final will start off at 3 p.m. Hobart time. We've got a team out of Melbourne, Meraki, versus a team out of Sydney in Friskee. We're going to sign off for now. We're going to be back shortly with Andrew Moroney, the head commentator of the final. Thanks, Jodes. It was good fun.
No worries. Yeah, good times.
Alti.tv